Sorry, I'm getting a lot of video down. Like I said, it's just one of those days. Anyway, as I was saying before, like, your plots, they really don't need to be too complex. As I was saying, that one was, but if you draw inspirations, you can start to see how things, with just a little bit of inspiration, you can start to fit things together into a whole. And really, that's what it's all about. Sorry, this is my little sort of notebook for me. And yeah, it's really quite simple. You don't need much, because at the end of the day, the players are there to sort of help you to create the adventure. You create the backbone and flesh it out a bit, and they'll do the rest with you. And it's always good to be attentive of your players, and if they come up with a really good idea, there's no shame in stealing it for yourself and actually using it. So I do believe it was actually I think it was actually Captain Machine who told me that. So cheers a lot, mate, because that actually really did help. It was in a conversation we had an age back. So anyway, like I said, I just... some people, you might find that a bit pointless for me to share with you, but I just wanted to get that adventure out off my chest, because on the night when it was all happening and it was all coming together and all the role play was going on and the in-character conversation, they loved it, and they also appreciated that it was a subtle, if a sinister, subtle thing that sort of led them on this adventure. So anyway, from there, they carried on to the harbour port of Torquay. They didn't really have an encounter there. I wasn't up to creating one on the day. But what I did do, I know this is out of time. I just really wanted to do it, so I did. Basically, they went through the Normandy forest that was then an actual forest, and basically they encountered a tribe of, basically Normans, which was the brilliant excuse to put in just a little bit of Nordic mythology and all that sort of stuff. So they enjoyed that too. However, the next adventure is going to be ace, because of where I'm going to run it as a landmark. And this, again, anybody who's running Solomon Kane, feel free to nick this from me. And if you're the players, just forget you heard it. I'm going to be running this, the next adventure, at Mont Saint-Michel in France, St. Michael's Mount. This, if you've ever been there, you know exactly what it is. It is a monastery set on sort of a plinth of an island, quite a fairly large islet sort of thing. It's a very large monastery, and there's quite a bit of land around it to boot, set just off the French coast. You can walk there when the tide's out along a little estuary. You don't actually need to boat your way there, though of course they do that if the tide's in. But here's the thing. I also found out that it used to be called Mount Tomb. Basically, it used to be a place the Romans and the Bretons... It was a sort of a Roman-Breton culture thing. It was a fortress initially. Then it got turned into a monastery. Now, in the 16th century, they're just starting to build a village around the base of Mont Saint-Michel. I'm thinking, what could they have awoken? Ooh, ideas start popping in. So, essentially, they're going to approach Mont Saint-Michel on a thunderous sort of overcast day that's so dark it's almost night. I just have this image of a storm kicking in, rain pounding down on the heroes, soaking their gunpowder and shot and whatnot, and the storm kicking up into an absolute hoolie. And basically, the seas are going to rise. They're going to be cut off in Mont Saint-Michel, and I'm going to turn it into a proper survival horror, which is exactly what's going to happen. And I just actually get the adventure that actually gave me the idea for the main villain, who is basically turned into a bit of a vampire, I admit, but not in the traditional sense quite. The main villain for this, who are they going to find underneath the monastery itself, is going to be la 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 la. Give me a moment. Sorry, just to find this sodding thing. Here we go. The last song, which is on page 161. Ooh, ow. Shouldn't have done that. That was rather loud. Anyway, but yes, they're going to get over there. Their ammo has been totaled, and they're going to be completely trapped on this storm-racked place with a monastery looming above and the tiers of village around there with the catacombs and prison beneath. And oh, did I mention there's going to be an inquisitor of the Spanish Inquisition doing some work against the evil sinners there as well. So all in all, I'm hoping that's going to be a really decent adventure. Quite a dark one, it must be said, but I just really want to have this idea of them in isolation trying to survive the night, until the storm flashes over, and they can get off the island. And being the pilgrims, of course, they're going to root out the evil and vanquish it. I'm sure they are. They're compelled. Anyway, so that's my next plans in the world of Kane. I'd love to run Sundered Skies at some point, though I'm really not up to running 2 sessions a week. I think very few people are. But, well, I don't know. I think I probably could, but it's just not something I could do right at the moment. As I said, I'm having a few health issues, and it's not fantastic just at the moment. But literally, look for inspiration. You don't, as I say, you don't have to be precise. You really you mess up the facts as much as you like. It don't matter, provided you get a good story out of it. All you're looking for is inspiration. Nick things from stories. Nick things from games you've already played. It doesn't matter, because inevitably you'll take that as inspiration. Let's face it, sort of imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but you'll take it as inspiration, and then you'll completely, by the end of the night, I guarantee, make it your own. And it won't be what you originally started with, and I don't think there's much shame in it. I originally thought there was, and to be honest, I tried to come up with my own original stuff. And let's face it, Mont Saint-Michel, the setting is original, the premise of a survival horror is not so original. However, I do like this idea of the vampire beneath and all this sort of stuff, with the choir. I didn't say that for anybody who's not done that yet. You probably won't know what I'm talking about anyway, unless you've done it. But anyway, it's all good, and these are my plans anyway. And like I said, I just wanted to have a small discussion about the plot points of Solomon Kane that I've actually been coming up with, so far. And again, the greatest thing about a plot point system is that you have an adventure. If it all goes tits up, it doesn't matter, because next week you're completely doing something else, and you just leave it behind. I just make a fresh start of it, which I really appreciate. And of course, you've got the main story. They're trying to find the artifacts to seal away the unholy evil, which is your inspiration for keeping going. So, as you can tell, I'm having a blast. And if these overblown tales in some way inspired you to do whatever, use them. I really don't mind. In fact, I'd be flattered if you did. Anyway, yes, I think that's it, really. I'm going to run Sundered Skies at some other point, and I will certainly let you know how that goes, and my views on the system when that's been done. I don't know quite what my next video is going to be about. I'd like to get my hands on Necropolis 2350 and Rippers, which are 2 more settings for Savage Worlds, which look very cool. The other thing is I'm going to get my hands on as well is that Savage Worlds has actually got some toolkits, the fantasy, sci-fi, and horror toolkits, specifically for it, which gives you ideas for new races and hindrances and whatnot. So I'm going to take a look at those when I've got the cash and funds to do so and whatnot, because quite frankly I think Pinnacle Entertainment should be supported, so I'd prefer to buy stuff. I mean, between you and me and the Garden Gate Post, I do download things on the Skive, right? However, and this is my philosophy, I do that because books are very, very specific things, and if I download it and don't like it, the chances are I'm not going to use it anyway, and if I do like it, I buy it. And now, people might say, well, that's wrong, and I probably shouldn't be saying this sort of on YouTube, but, the fact is, if it's worth buying, it's worth buying, and, it's worth supporting people. And like I say, I do download demos, because unfortunately the first 5 pages isn't enough, and I know they can't trust every good person out there to be honest and actually, if they gave them the book, will you buy this on honour? It doesn't work like that, but personally I like to think that I do that. Simply if I really need to know what's in it. Enough said about that anyway. So when I have actually got the monetary funds and whatnot, I will actually be having a look at those. I'll let you know my thoughts on the toolkits for Savage Worlds, and until then, I guess this is Cro-Magnus, and I'll catch you guys later. So after these impromptu videos, take care YouTube, and, sort of whatever game it is you play, may it be good. Catch you later guys, cheers.